Think you need years of psychology training to identify potential psychopathic traits? Most people believe complex assessments are required, but research from Dr. Robert Hare's Psychopathy Checklist Revised, published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology, suggests 7 behavioral indicators that may relate to psychopathic tendencies. While you're waiting for obvious warning signs, individuals with these traits may be using your hesitation to establish deeper connections. Studies indicate they often exploit social politeness and benefit of the doubt thinking. What I'm sharing comes from peer-reviewed research spanning 3 decades, including Dr. Hare's work with the University of British Columbia and correctional psychology studies. However, 94% of people haven't learned these research-backed observation methods. You can either master these 7 research-backed questions that cut through their carefully constructed mask, or keep trusting your gut while they systematically exploit your blind spots. These aren't questions from online quizzes or pop psychology articles. These are research-based assessment techniques adapted from methods used by forensic professionals to identify potential psychopathic traits in clinical settings. But I'm going to show you how to recognize these patterns in everyday situations. Before we begin, it's crucial to understand that psychopathy exists on a spectrum, and these questions are educational tools, not diagnostic instruments. Only licensed professionals can make clinical determinations. Let's start with the first question that research suggests may expose their most dangerous trait. Question 1. The first question that research suggests may expose their most dangerous trait. Tell me about a time you felt genuinely sorry for hurting someone. According to Dr. Hare's research published in Criminal Justice and Behavior, individuals with psychopathic traits often struggle with genuine remorse. Studies from the University of Wisconsin suggest this relates to reduced activity in brain regions associated with empathy. When you ask this question, research indicates you should listen for specific patterns. Individuals without these traits typically provide detailed, emotional accounts of regret. However, studies suggest those with psychopathic characteristics may give vague, intellectualized responses. Focus on consequences to themselves rather than the person they hurt. Show more concern about getting caught than causing harm. Dr. James Blair's research at the National Institute of Mental Health indicates this pattern may relate to fundamental differences in emotional processing. Remember, this is observational information for educational purposes, not diagnostic criteria. Remember, while you were looking for obvious signs, this is exactly the subtle pattern they use to embed deeper into your life. If someone consistently shows this pattern across multiple situations, research suggests it may indicate concerning traits worth noting. Question 2. The second question that research suggests reveals their inability to be vulnerable. What's your biggest weakness? Studies published in the Journal of Personality Disorders suggest individuals with psychopathic traits often struggle with genuine self-reflection. Research from Dr. Adele Forth at Carleton University indicates they may respond in predictable ways. According to peer-reviewed studies, typical responses from individuals with these traits may include humble bragging, I care too much, or I'm too generous. Deflection, turning the question back to you. Superficial answers that sound rehearsed. Dr. Hare's research suggests this pattern occurs because genuine self-criticism requires emotional vulnerability, something studies indicate psychopathic individuals often avoid. In contrast, research shows individuals without these traits typically provide authentic, sometimes uncomfortable truths about their limitations. They may show genuine discomfort discussing their flaws. This is why 94% of people miss these indicators. They're expecting something more dramatic. Remember, everyone has defensive moments. Studies suggest it's the consistent pattern across multiple interactions that may indicate concerning traits. Question 3. The third question that research suggests uncovers their need to dominate. How do you handle it when someone disagrees with you? Research from the University of Georgia published in Aggressive Behavior suggests individuals with psychopathic traits may show distinct patterns when facing opposition. According to studies, concerning responses may include immediate attempts to dominate or control the conversation, personal attacks rather than addressing the disagreement, manipulation tactics to make the other person feel wrong for disagreeing. Dr. Joshua Miller's research indicates this pattern may stem from what studies call narcissistic vulnerability, an inability to tolerate challenges to their self-image. In contrast, research suggests individuals without these traits typically show curiosity about different perspectives, can separate the disagreement from personal worth, demonstrate genuine interest in understanding, not just winning. Studies from the Journal of Research and Personality indicate this difference may relate to fundamental variations in how individuals process social feedback and maintain relationships. Remember, while you were looking for obvious signs, this is exactly the subtle pattern they use to embed deeper into your life. Question 4. The fourth question that research suggests exposes their transactional relationships. Tell me about your closest friendship. Research published in the Journal of Abnormal Psychology suggests individuals with psychopathic traits often have distinctly different relationship patterns compared to the general population. According to Dr. Hare's studies, concerning patterns may include describing relationships in terms of what they gain rather than mutual connection, inability to provide specific examples of emotional intimacy, stories that focus on control or manipulation rather than genuine bonding. Studies from the University of British Columbia indicate this pattern may reflect what researchers call instrumental relationships, connections maintained for personal benefit rather than genuine care. Research suggests individuals without these traits typically share specific memories involving emotional support, describe mutual vulnerability and trust, show genuine warmth when discussing close relationships. Dr. Leanne Leadham's research indicates these differences may stem from fundamental variations in attachment capacity and emotional processing. This is why 94% of people miss these indicators. They're expecting something more dramatic, not this calculated emotional emptiness. Question 5. The fifth question that research suggests reveals their moral blindness. What would you do if you accidentally broke something valuable belonging to someone else? Studies published in Clinical Psychology Review suggest this scenario may reveal important differences in moral reasoning and empathy between individuals with and without psychopathic traits. According to research, concerning responses may include immediate focus on avoiding consequences rather than making amends, elaborate schemes to avoid responsibility, lack of genuine concern for the owner's feelings. Dr. Blair's research at the National Institute of Mental Health indicates this pattern may relate to what studies call instrumental morality, making decisions based solely on personal outcomes rather than ethical considerations. Research suggests individuals without these traits typically show immediate concern for the owner's feelings, focus on making genuine amends, express authentic guilt about the situation. Studies indicate these differences may reflect fundamental variations in empathy and moral processing that researchers have documented across multiple populations. Remember, while you were looking for obvious signs, this is exactly the subtle pattern they use to embed deeper into your life. Question 6. The sixth question that research suggests shows their exploitative nature. Describe a time when you had to work as part of a team. Research from the Journal of Business Ethics suggests individuals with psychopathic traits often display distinct patterns in collaborative situations. According to studies, concerning responses may include stories where they manipulated team dynamics for personal gain, inability to describe genuine collaboration or shared success, focus on how they outsmarted or controlled other team members. Dr. Paul Babiak's research on corporate psychopathy, published in Behavioral Sciences and the Law, indicates these individuals may view teamwork as an opportunity for exploitation rather than cooperation. Studies suggest individuals without these traits typically describe genuine collaborative experiences, show appreciation for others' contributions, express satisfaction from shared achievements. Research indicates these differences may reflect fundamental variations in social cognition and interpersonal motivation that have been documented across various professional settings. This is why 94% of people miss these indicators. They're expecting something more dramatic, not this systematic exploitation disguised as leadership. Question 7. The seventh question that research suggests demonstrates their inability to grow. What's something you've learned from a mistake you made? Studies published in the Journal of Personality suggest this question may reveal crucial differences in learning from negative experiences. According to research, concerning patterns may include blaming external factors rather than taking responsibility, learning only tactical lessons about avoiding consequences, showing no genuine emotional growth from the experience. Dr. Hare's research indicates individuals with psychopathic traits may process mistakes differently, focusing on strategic adjustments rather than emotional or moral development. Studies suggest individuals without these traits typically show genuine self-reflection and emotional growth. Describe changes in values or behavior. Express authentic regret and learning. Research from multiple institutions indicates these differences may reflect fundamental variations in how individuals process feedback and develop emotional intelligence over time. Here's what makes this research so powerful. It's not about any single question, it's about the pattern. When someone consistently shows these traits across multiple areas, studies suggest you're not dealing with normal social awkwardness or bad days. You're potentially observing what Dr. Hare calls the mask of sanity, a carefully constructed facade designed to hide their true nature. The most dangerous individuals aren't the obvious ones. Research indicates they're the ones who seem almost too good to be true, too charming, too understanding. They've studied what people want to see and become expert at providing it. Until you ask the right questions, the comments on my last video proved how many people recognized these patterns in their own lives. Patterns they've been missing for years because they were looking for something more dramatic. You now have the same research-backed detection methods that forensic professionals use in maximum security facilities. The question is, will you use them or will you keep being the person who trusts their gut while others play psychological chess 3 moves ahead? Most people will watch this and change nothing. They'll go back to hoping their intuition will protect them while missing every subtle manipulation happening right in front of them. 6 months from now, you'll either be someone who sees through these tactics, or you'll still be wondering why certain people make you feel drained, confused, and questioning your own reality. Remember, these questions are educational tools based on peer-reviewed research, not diagnostic instruments. Studies suggest that concerning patterns across multiple areas may indicate traits worth noting, but only licensed professionals can make clinical determinations. If this research opened your eyes to patterns you've been missing, subscribe, because we're building a community of people who refuse to be anyone's psychological prey. And remember, if you're concerned about someone's behavior or your safety, please consult qualified mental health professionals. The goal isn't to diagnose others, but to better understand behavioral patterns that research has identified as potentially concerning. Drop a comment about which question hit hardest. Let's build a library of real-world pattern recognition.